Welcome to this very special edition reading. What we are doing here is we are looking at the energy and the zodiac sign for the Lion's Gate. The way that I am intending that this reading will work as a beneficial tool for you is to have you look at the qualities and characteristics and traits that come with the zodiac sign. So when we look at those traits, part of what we're looking at is what sign, what element is it? And by looking at the element qualities, that in a very fundamental level gives us an idea of what type of energy we're looking at. I don't want these videos to be insanely long, and so I will go ahead and put some of those additional qualities in the description box of the video. You can look at that to help you determine how you might work with this particular reading. The next thing that I am needing to say is that we contain all 12 zodiac signs within us, and they come out in our lives in different ways. They have different areas that they govern, different ways that they affect us, and the degree to which these qualities show up in our lives can be different. But the beauty of how these readings are going to work is that you are going to be in control and looking at, as this portal opens, as this Lion Gate comes up. That's a reminder, I totally meant to do this at the very beginning. If you are new to the Lion's Gate portal, the 8-8 portal, I have created an intro video that will talk about that. I will link it also in the description box of this video. Well, Lion's Gate portal, August 8th, the period that I talked about, it's a great portal that helps us with manifesting. So as you look at your life right now and you look at, from the time of you watching this video, what is it that you're wanting to really manifest in your life? And if you happen to be watching it before a Lion's Gate, either the one that's happening this year or whatever year you happen to be watching this video, the idea behind this set of readings is you get to go into your personal astrology chart and you get to look at where your signs are, what they govern, how they can help you, and you get to make those choices about, okay, what extra areas of guidance am I looking for right now that can really help me maximize this manifestation energy? And then you can take the reading, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. As with all readings, all advice, all opinions, it's kind of the same. It's about being in your power and really aligning yourself with what feels right for you and letting go of the things that don't. So this message is for Capricorn energy. So however that plays out in your chart, however you're choosing to use that, that is the focus of the audience, I guess you might say, that we are looking at for this reading. So I am asking, please, for energy that is going to help the Capricorn collective understand how they can work with manifestation energy during this Lion's Gate in order to build the lives that they are wanting for themselves. Okay. So, Capricorn, the first thing that is coming out is you had a series of runes that fell in a circle. Now, there are 5 of them that formed this circle. So what's happening already at the beginning is the number 5 may have significance for some of you watching. Again, these are general readings, large audience of people that these could or couldn't apply to. So 5 is coming out as significant, but what is really drawing my attention, in the center there is one rune that is not lifted. So this energy in the center of these 5 is concealed. It is below the surface. It is something that has yet to be realized, yet to be manifest. The other thing that's happening is when I look at these 5, I'm getting a sense of flower, like the petals and then the center. So with the flower, we are thinking about the stage that leads to the pre-fruiting body of a plant, right? That's why we have the flowers, is to pollinate, to bring in, to transfer genetic information, to produce the next generation. That would be what most flowers do, the purpose and function, the form and function of a flower. So that literally is just a message that came through simply from the way that they fell. And I actually, hold on one second, I'll pause it and I'll show you, just because I think it is that powerful. This is the area that I'm talking about. But do you see how that is so distinctly separate from everything that's happening over here? So now that we have that part of the message delivered, let's go ahead and take a look at what each of the individual runes mean in this collection. So we have, at the top, we have Tiwaz and Ewaz. Tiwaz is about fairness and balance and justice. This is about, if you give your word on something, then you're going to keep your word. Ewaz is about alignment. This is about making sure that the actions you are taking are indeed in alignment with your intentions, your desires. And so there already is a sense that in one side of this, there very much is energy about making sure that things are balanced and in alignment. On the side of, on either side, we have Isa and then we have Berkana. So Isa is our ice energy. Isa is energy that can come through a couple different ways. For your reading, this actually is feeling like an energy of wisdom almost. It's a feeling of like standing the test of time. Right, what, like ice only exists under certain conditions, and in order for ice to remain, things have to be slow and they have to be cold, and you know, things like that. So a lot of times Isa can represent stuck energy, but for your reading, it's feeling, instead of like stuck energy, it's feeling like, look at what I've been through. Look at all of my accomplishments. Look at the challenges, the trials, the tribulations. And you know, when I look back at that, I look at this foundation, look at how it has built me up. I mean, an ocean is vast, a glacier can be vast. Like and it's still water, it's just in different stages. But when we try to move on ice, we have a little more surety, we have a little more countenance when we are moving on ice rather than when we're in the water. That analogy is getting really complex, so we'll see how this concept plays out in the rest of your reading. I don't want to spend, 30,000 hours just on one rune and the ideas that are coming through, because I have a feeling that the rest of the runes are going to clarify the energy. But it's a sense of there's more than meets the eye, would be the way that I could summarize this energy that's coming out for you guys right now. And Berkana was the one that was opposite of Isa. Now Berkana is our nurturing energy. This is our feminine energy. So this is about tying in with intuition. This is about really understanding feelings. This is about connecting in with our emotion body. And the fifth rune that was in this lineup is Ewaz, and Ewaz is our horse energy. So this is very much companionship. This is a sense for you guys about, you're not meant to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. You shouldn't do it alone. That there are guides and guardians. There are people in your communities, in your workplace, in your social groups, that are willing and eager to be on this journey with you, this transformational journey, whatever these type of manifestation energies are that you are choosing to work with during this time. The rune in the center that was flipped over, I am going to flip it again because I felt that it was interconnected, and the one in the center actually is Laguz. Laguz is our lake energy, and it very specifically deals with our intuition. This deals with our realms of consciousness and our ability to move within the mundane, beyond the mundane, into the extraordinary, the supernatural, and to really understand the interconnectedness of all of it, that everything has a place, and that in this way we begin to understand the value of things a little bit differently. So the fact that this was covered for you, but in the center, is an indication that this is a spot that could potentially be challenging, that this is a spot that as you work to uncover it and open it up, when you do open it up, it's a feeling that those other 5 runes that were around it, when you really tap into this intuition energy with Laguz and you really start to move with it, it's really going to unlock and help you bring in those other energies during this manifestation process. For the other half of your reading, we have Uruz, which is creative energy. This is grounding. This is, well, not necessarily grounding. It would be more sacral chakra energy, creation, womb space. And again, whether you are male or female, we're talking about energy. We're talking about the underlying frequencies and vibrations around us, within us. So with this energy coming through with Uruz, this is an understanding that this flower energy that we had at the beginning, there is a sense that you have the ability to make magic happen. You have the ability to make things open up and come to life with Uruz sitting on the outside of this. You have Dagaz, which represents our shorter cycles. Dagaz represents the day. And with day, there is a sense that our setbacks and our obstacles are not limitations, rather they are learning points. So an event happens, something happens, we have a thing we're trying to do. Whatever happens in that cycle, then it resets and we start again. And some of that energy will transition through to the following day. But the day energy really is giving a sense of being able to come back to a situation feeling more prepared. So it's not even coming back to a situation, but representing in a different way would be the more correct way to say the feeling that I was having with that. Now, you guys also have Manas, and Manas is the rune of what I like to say, it's unity consciousness, it's humanity. So it really is an understanding about the impact that we have on one another, and that you're only as strong as your weakest link is one of the phrases that you might know. And this concept really is about pulling together and cooperation and collaboration. You had Awaz in the beginning, which was that companionship energy, and now you have Manas, which is this collaboration energy. So really getting out there and working with others in order to work through these different manifestation points that you are currently investigating for yourself. Underneath Manas, we had 2 runes, one of which was Thurisaz and the other was Ansuz. So Thurisaz is our lightning energy, and Ansuz is our energy of expression, of communication, poetry, voice. And Thurisaz is a type of energy that comes through and it helps you illuminate and it helps you clear out. So this is definitely movement energy, and the energy of Ansuz coming with it is very much a feeling of sharing your experiences as they're happening. And again, it's because Manas was with these 2 as well for this particular reading. So when you begin to share your experiences, these will have impacts on those around you. And you can't know what your experience is going to mean for someone else unless you start having those open communication points about it. So this is really more in the sense of communication. This really is feeling like an invitation for you to consider being more open to inviting more people into the things you're doing, being a little more social with the projects you have, the things you're planning, the way that you're wanting to engage with your personal development. Being more social and collaborative with that is going to be a place of richness for you. And the sense is because as you do this, you're going to get feedback and you're going to get experiences outside of your own understanding. That's the beauty of that Manas rune coming through, is we get to have that integration, yes, but we get to see the different ways of being, the different opinions, the different perspectives, and understanding too that you get to hold space for, or you get to acknowledge perspectives that are different than yours. You don't have to embrace everything that is different, but simply being open to it and communicating is going to help you as you move through this. And by this, I mean manifestation that you're working on. We have two final runes for you guys, Capricorn. The first of those is Gabo. So Gabo is about reciprocity. And we were just talking about you opening up and being more collaborative in working with others. Gabo is an energy that is saying, as you do that, you are going to start to see benefits and rewards in whatever capacity you are setting intentions for. So whether that be finances, whether it be relationships, whether it be personal development, whether it be community development, however you're focusing that energy we saw at the beginning of your reading and moving it towards the end, Gabo is saying that that's going to come back to you. Everything that you're putting out is going to come back. And so this is an energy, what's coming through just now too, is making sure that with this understanding that what you put out comes back, putting out good things means good things are going to come back. So even when you're in moments where you're not feeling it, or where maybe it's a little bit of a struggle to feel it, keep in mind that the payback, the reward, if you want to think of it that way, is going to be what you're putting out. So if you want to experience something different in your life, you have to think a little bit different. You have to try a little bit different. You have to do a little bit different. You have to be, putting your fingers in these little things and testing them out. And as you do that and you start to check in and you see, well, where are these points that are lining up or not lining up? The moments that line up and are really resonating, again, we had that balance and alignment in the beginning for you guys with Tiwaz and Awaz. So as you're tuning in and checking in what aligns for you, the more you do that, the more that's going to come into your life. And that's what this Gabo energy is saying. Now, it came with Fehu, and Fehu would be the rune associated with resources. So we can look at this as money. We can look at this, again, I said, in any capacity that you're working on. But all of this is saying that there's big payoff for you. There's really a feeling that once you work with this and once you really get past these, the things that are holding you back, or the hitch in the flow of energy, it really is going to act like a wave that's just going to carry you along. So that's what we have for your rune reading. I am going to pull a card to finalize this particular reading and just get some overall energy. And for you, again, I'll show it at the end along with your runes briefly, but the card that flipped for you is Creator. So creating what you want for yourself. It has to do with awareness and co-creation and change. I feel like that's just everything that we just talked about. And it deals with the number 1, which I just want to point out. We also have this same type of iconography in the rune Isa, that single line. So that, in a sense, is feeling like standing your ground or being in your resolve. So for me, that actually makes more sense why Isa was feeling the way that it did during this reading. Isa doesn't normally feel like that to me, but the one coming out at the bottom of this card really locked that in for me. So I want to take this time to thank our guides. I want to thank the runes. I will show you your layout real quick, and I have one final little message, but I am wishing you well, and I look forward to seeing you at future readings. Thank you so much for attending this reading, spending time with me, and most importantly, spending time with yourself to know yourself better and to be more in your power as you live your life. If you are interested in learning the runes, I am actually creating a class that will be launching shortly after the Lionsgate, so middle of August, I'm thinking. I have an email list set up. If you are interested in that, sign up for the email list. Link will be in the description box, and that will give you all the information you need in order to be able to participate.